we were talking about the early part of Ian Durrant. Is it a time when you were breaking in there that, you know, there was a real buzz about you before you even get in the team? I remember, you know, everybody talking about, oh, they've got this youngster, you know, he's going to be absolutely sensational. Were you overawed when you got into the Rangers team?
No, it was you were given a chance, and then, and obviously where I came from, I was a wee bit gallus. Just now you took it. At the time it was great for me because Derek Ferguson, Robert Fleck and Hugh Burns had broke in as well, so there was as though just now one youngster got into the team. There was four who's broke into the team under the restraints, under Big Jock, and they had no money to spend at the time, obviously with the stadium, and it gave us a chance. But you went in and Big Jock now just threatened you, if you don't take your chance then you'll not get it. So you went in, and unfortunate enough now I clicked. Now I didn't think for a minute I was a Jock Wallace player. He said I was 8 stone. Now Big Jock liked people who could run through now the wall behind me. Big aggressive player, but I got a chance. Then it flourished. Unfortunately the big man lost his job, then Souness came in and again took a liking to me, and again, so it was just a kick on. Just make sure now, when I felt sorry for Big Jock, but when you get a chance, when you're reading the papers and then all of a sudden you're hearing Graham Souness is coming, well, you want to be part of that, so you just want to make sure you're in the team.
How great did that feel? Peter was saying a few weeks ago, mind you were talking up the fact that Ryan Jack, who had been lauded by Steven Gerrard, and you're saying it did bring out the best in him. His first game after those kind words for his manager was against Ross County, and he was excellent. That must have felt great by the same token. You know, Ryan Jack's getting talked up by one of the greatest midfielders of his generation, and if Souness talking you up, you must have got a wee glow.
Right, and as I said to him, but also a great help for me and Derek was Davy Cooper. Now selling all along with, but he was great. See, for kids coming into the team, now Coop was just now, and that was another boost. Now walking out a tunnel, now Davy Cooper's in front of you. Now it's inspiring, and he's remember the one of the first few games I played, and Coop just turned around, don't be afraid to make mistakes, son. Now we all make mistakes, and you're now sort of now going, well, if he can make mistakes now it's good for us, and it just gave you a boost to go out and express yourself. I used to make runs in it, and Coop would put it on a sixpence now in terms of passing, and just the thought now, Graham Souness, McCoy's, Cooper, now you get Butcher, Woods, now all that influx of players coming in, it made you more determined to play. Yeah, you've got a great story about Souness though, haven't you? In the early days when he came in, did you not wind him up? was there not a wee tete-a-tete that you two had? No, he knocked me out. No, Souness had this England-Scotland game, and Souness being Souness now, he was good, but he had this wee bit of arrogance about him now, and he said, well, I'm going to play for England because I've had the majority of my career down here, right? So we took a wee bit of umbrage to that now. Okay, so usual, the jocks are battering him, and we're sort of taking the piss, and he didn't like it, so he came flying in, as he does. Now he wanted to put his mark down, and I nutmegged him and gave a wee daft childish laugh. Unbeknown to me, he's turned round quick, and this right hook, Ruff, you'll probably seen it with the Scotland, and he's planted me on the chin. So I'm going down, thinking what's happening next. I sort of get back up, and I said, now you know what it's like when you're a daft boy. I said, is that your best? So 15 minutes later I woke up in the dressing room not knowing what had happened, so I think I took his best, the second one. Moments like that, Ruffy, it can either make you or break you though, can't you? I mean, I think sometimes if somebody puts in a tackle or shows a wee bit of gallousness like that, I always associate you with gallousness. That's the bit that people think, I'll have him. Yeah, that was my favourite Souness one when we were playing Wales with Jock Stein, and Souness and Terry Urath hated each other, absolutely hated each other, and we're all lined up to go out onto the park, and Jock Stein says to Graham, oh Graham, that boy Urath, you don't really go on with him, do you? And he went, oh, no, not particularly, no. He says, well, he's one of their better players. If he plays, they play. He says, so just take him out. And Graham turned round and he went, what, the night or forever? It was incredible. Yeah. And this was on a Friday before now the Saturday game, and it was carnage. Yeah. But that's what he said now. He always maintained, if you're going to be successful, and Rangers had to be successful, now we're chasing Celtic, we had to train the way we played. Yeah. And that's what he installed in us. Yeah, I think Bomber Brown got his move to Rangers because he absolutely cemented Graham. Remember Dundee, Bomber put him on his arse twice, and again he liked what he seen in Bomber, and there was a thing Bomber now had failed a medical at Hearts, but Bomber says now never really happened, and then the next minute Bomber's playing so many games and winning so many medals for Rangers.
I always find it, I mean, it's just a strange thing. I'm not going to hide the fact that the one thing about your team, most of the guys, because of my friendship with them, there's a great bit of old firm banter. You know, one Rangers fan, Celtic fan, and the banter is sensational. But if you try and speak and relate to other people and say, you know, the perception you have of a certain person and the reality, it's unbelievable. I mean, we had it with Barry. I mean, the amount of people would give him pelters walking down the street out here is incredible. But the perception of Jock, hard man, Souness, hard man, so far from the truth. I mean, it's great if you want to cultivate it when you're walking out onto a pitch.
Oh, honestly, the other side now, people don't see that. They see this persona now, which you got big Jock now. If you had a couple of personal problems and as kids you're growing up, and you never talked to Jock would give you pelters for no telling, and he would try and sort it. He said, "Don't worry about now the other side of it now. I've got to be hard on you because that's what I've got to see. But see the other side of Tom now. He was incredible.
Yeah.
As soon as again now, going back to now when Ruffy brought me about my knee injury again. Thanks, Ruffy. Soon as now there was no stone unturned for me to go and try and get my knee fixed.
Yeah.
And the other side now, and he kept in contact with Mum and Dad. My dad wasn't too ill at the time, and he was make sure, don't worry, we'll do our best to get his knee fixed. And now this other side, but then 2 minutes later, we giving you pelters as now as usual, but it just flips.
Yeah. Am I
5
right
minutes later,
thinking you were you out for 3 years?
2 years 6 months.
That's
I
I mean,
3, but
yeah. And when we mentioned about your attitude, how strong psychologically do you have to be? Has that did it mould or change or alter your personality because you had to be strong?
You had to be now, because it was obviously the only thing I knew was playing football. But my whole perception, my whole life, totally changed when I went to Lilleshall, which was like Colditz in the middle of Shropshire.
Yeah,
and they psychologically just battered me into get me playing again, because I'd virtually given up, because now I'd had a couple of attempts at trying to get back, and then I went now, as soon as through a friend in America, I went to America. But you're still seeing now, you're looking at your knee and you're going, it's not going to get any better and things. And then I went to Lilleshall, which was run by ex-army men.
Yeah.
Who now, it's like, I swear to God, it was like the Navy SEALs, and they just shout and bawl at you. But then now they're working on your temperament, and then they got me back, and then they got me back playing. I'm terribly grateful doing there, because you were stuck, and it was like a dormitory now with people. Now I've seen, as I said, now I've seen worse things down there, and they're like jockeys and people. But it was just for sportsmen, for people in car crashes, and I'm thinking now, I'm feeling sorry for myself. By the knee, I've got this jockey with now blood seeping out his leg, but he's got to get back on a horse. If he doesn't get back on a horse, he doesn't get paid. I've seen people without limbs now been in car crashes, just getting back in, and it was just an incredible place to be. And now you don't feel sorry for yourself when you're down there. You're quickly helping people, and see how now you find out now that the traumas they went through. Yeah. And it was nothing. I went through nothing compared to some of the people down there.
And on that point, you're talking about your mental strength, and you had a laugh. You also brought a lot of enjoyment. The banter in the dressing rooms, I mean, God almighty, I don't think, was there anybody who was a shrinking violet in the dressing room? You're talking about Jock Wallace, and then you had Coop, then you had people coming through, then the Souness era. There was that many characters, it was unbelievable.
When you listen to Tommy and Stuart on a Saturday, you can see the camera they've got. Ruffy will tell you that it's a harsh, the dressing room can be harsh, and if you don't handle it, I've seen good football players now crumble in dressing rooms and not going to now prolong their careers.
Could you name those names for us, Durrant?
I remember a certain Jan Batram who couldn't handle Stolly Sensas, couldn't handle it. Why do you shout at me? I goes, well, that's what we do in Scotland. That's what happens if we've got 50,000, if we're not doing our job now. And it was people that crumbled under now. As soon as big Jan Batram could not handle Souness at all, and that was now just part and parcel. Souness wanted us to play in an aggressive manner. Jan coming from Denmark, a bit horizontal, couldn't see that side of it, but I'm sure he learned and went on to play now. He prolonged his career in Denmark, but there was people in the dressing room that just couldn't handle now the banter. It was now it can either make you or kill you.
And he scored an Old Firm goal as well.
Exactly, and it was the best days of your life. See the dressing room. I don't miss see the games.
Yeah.
I don't miss the game. I just miss getting on a Monday or Tuesday morning into the dressing room and getting to see the banter and the pattern on it. That was the best days.
And the funny thing is, I can totally get why, for example, as you know, Coisty will play fives. We're playing a Wednesday and a Friday. I understand why he wants to prolong it, because nobody wants to leave the dressing room because you get slaughtered for your performance.
Exactly. When I come up and watches, and it's like handbags at 10 paces you're mobbing. But you can see now you all want to play. But you can see that it's like a slow walk after the park. Who's going into the dressing room first? That's him. He doesn't want to get at half time.
As Randy said, the dressing room is what it's all about. I mean, I know it sounds silly, but I mean, even half time. I mean, Rangers had a big dressing room, didn't you?
Oh, it's massive.
Yeah, and at Partick Thistle we had a massive dressing room. It just wouldn't run forever. 1, 2, 3 thing. I mean, when you used to come in. If somebody was getting it on that side of the dressing room, it was wee Betty just slaughtering people. You'd be sitting on the other side. I mean, you couldn't stop laughing at some of the stuff it was coming away with.
Tells your auntie the story of Tony Higgins and Bertie.
Oh, Tony Higgins. Tony Higgins was having a nightmare. And wee Bertie always had his champions.
I know.
This European medal in his neck.
He dug me like a kipper.
And Tony was having a nightmare, and wee Bertie went up to him and said, "See you." He says, "You'll never, ever, ever get one of them." And he pulls it out. And Tony goes, "I'm no liable to get one here in Partick Thistle."
It's your worst nightmare. Is there one specific, you mentioned you live for it, is there one specific moment in a dressing room where you'll never forget it? You look, you go, "Oh, that was just great. I wish I could transport myself back." It was
when Souness went off him one. Do you remember the old dressing room, Ruffy at Ibrox? This old telly, right, and they hadn't changed the telly for years, but I think it was basically getting held up now together with a bit of sticky tape, and Souness went to volley the telly, right, and his foot gets stuck in it. Right? So you're looking about, and you don't laugh, and he had these brilliant suede shoes for Italy, right? Now I'm talking serious Brahmas, and then they cut, and they were all scratched, right, and see for about 5 minutes he wasn't even bothering what the score or nothing was going to be scared out his shoe.
600 quid.
Oh, then he used to batter canisters and that about him. Oh, Donald Mackay just joined the club and came in with a new suit and the old Gatorade thing. Souness is battered it. Right? Brand new suit, and and he was actually, I think he just done that to make sure, see if anybody was laughing. Oh, Jesus Christ, he was a madman. My
favourite Bertie one. I'm going to get this one out the road. Wee Bertie used to, way back then, remember, used to have the Subutio teams. Used to have they all got things up on the wall now, but we had a Subutio board with the away team and the home team, and he'd come in at half time and he would start moving the wee Subutio players about. So he says to Pat Quinn, who was his assistant, "How do you think things are going in the first half, Pat?" And Pat went, "Well, don't think we're getting enough width on the left hand side. I think Bobby Houston's really, contributing enough to the team." And he let it forward and he went, "Get off, Bobby." He just flanked this wee Subutio guy.